Who inspired your game the most growing up?
Who inspired my game the most? Obviously, like from a fan standpoint, like Kobe was my favorite player.
Yeah.
Jordan. Um, I saw like the back end of Jordan. I remember him winning in 97, 98.
Wow.
Then him coming back with the Wizards. But Kobe, like I remember seeing Kobe, all his championships, and then LeBron, obviously those three. But Nolan Smith was like, he's my god brother. He's like the guy
Yes.
who I always wanted to be like. Whatever jersey number he wore, I wore. Whatever high school he went to, I was going to. College, you know what I'm saying? Like he was the guy I was chasing. Chris Wright is another one who
Nice.
those two were like my two favorites because they were my size. Nolan's a little taller than us, but those two were like my idols growing up.
And Nolan went to Duke.
Yep.
Right now he's coaching at University of Memphis,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, I did my
Yeah,
research.
you want it. You want it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how was it just being able to like hear from him at such a young age? Because not a lot of people
Yeah.
are in proximity with someone who's so
Yeah.
successful at
No, I
basketball.
mean it's crazy. Like being from here, like you literally have access to your idols.
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom, my mom, she's a mom who like gets real close with like all the moms for each
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Like so like
PTA.
it's like
We love those moms.
and even like she's getting to the gym early. We might play at 10, but she's going at 8 to watch the
Yeah.
Maryland Stallions play and stuff like that. So she formed a great relationship with Jerry Jack's mom.
Okay.
And I remember Jerry Jack coming to pick me up in a
Nice.
Bentley, like in middle school.
Wow.
And I'm just like, man, this is, you know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But
Thanks,
like I'm
mom.
saying that to say, like, I had access to my idols.
Yeah.
And like Nolan, he was like Michael Jordan to me. Like
Yeah.
everything I wanted, he did, I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
his family welcomed me with open arms. And anytime he talked to me, anytime I just would like be like super like fanned out. And then like we created a great bond. And he's my best man. He's my brother. I was the best man at his wedding. His kids are my
Mm.
god kids. So just to have that bond with your idol, I mean, it means the world.
What would you say is like the biggest piece of advice that he's been able to give you over the years?
Um, just never like I remember one time like we were fighting, like we were like play fighting in his crib, and I think he had got a call, like he had made the McDonald's All American game,
Mm.
and I think I was he was 17, so I was 12,
Mhm.
and he's going crazy in the house, blah blah blah. And I'm young. I'm still young, naive. I'm like, man, you so lucky, man. Like you going to Duke, McDonald's in America, you top five. Like you so lucky. He like, nah. I mean, I work for this.
Mm.
Like, I'm blessed. I'm thankful, but I work for this. Like, you gonna do the same thing. So it's not like it don't happen by no
Accident.
luck. It don't happen by accident. Like I've seen him getting up at 5 a.m. He was 16. Him and Mike Beasley,
Mhm.
doing push-ups and going to the gym and coming back at night. Like they didn't party, they didn't do nothing. They just went home, went to the gym, went home, went to the gym, literally. So I've started doing that, whatever they did, especially when I got to their age. I wanted to be like them. And I saw the work that they put in.
Mhm. So, kind of circling back, you went to DeMatha Catholic High
Yeah,
School, right? Everyone knows DeMatha for being, extremely well at multiple sports, right?
yeah,
Football and
yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
But on your basketball team, you played with multiple NBA players: Victor Oladipo, Jerian Grant, Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
Am I missing anybody?
Josh Shelby.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why do you think your team was so successful other than talent?
What's crazy about that team is that myself, Jerian Grant, and Jeremy Grant, we've been playing on the same team since we were 7. Me and Jerian was 7, Jeremy was 6, all the way up to about, I think Jeremy started playing his age at about maybe 10, 11.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've played any more basketball games with another person than Jerian Grant.
Wow.
So that started
The
when,
cohesion.
yeah, that
Yeah.
started when we were 6,
Yeah.
7 years old. I went to elementary and middle school with Victor. So like
Hmm.
that started like that. He became my best friend in the 5th grade. So that started that bond. So I got this bond with the Grant brothers. Then I got this bond with Victor,
Yeah.
and then Josh Shelby. Um, he was coming from Baltimore. So my dad took him and another teammate I had, Najee Hibbert, in. Instead of them making that commute every day,
Yeah.
during the week, y'all could just stay at our house. So I'm playing against the number one player. Like, well, literally, Josh was the number one player in the country. Najee was like a top 30 player in his class,
Wow.
and they were older than me. So we
Mhm.
had a basketball court in my house. So we'll have practice, we'll go home, we'll get our homework done, we'll eat, then we're literally playing one on one, all night,
Yeah.
literally, like until my mom like I come on school night, whatever. But I'm getting that kind of competition and reps, at 14 years old, 15 years old. So we were super competitive, but we loved each other. We were selfless. And looking back on it, like there's some games that I wish we would have got back because we shouldn't have lost with that talent, but
Yeah.
it taught us, how to get ready to become champions later that season. So it was great. I brag about that team a lot.
Yeah.
And
We all brag.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
from the
nah,
area
yeah. And
brags.
we appreciate the love. We appreciate the love
We
for
really
sure.
do. So when you think about that team, when you guys were playing one-on-one late at night,
Yeah.
were you guys all aware that maybe there was a chance that all of you guys could go to the highest level? Was that the plan?
You couldn't you
Always?
you couldn't tell us it wasn't the
Yeah.
plan,
Good,
like
good.
just being honest, like
Yes.
not being cocky or not being like
No.
not realistic, but like we being from here, we saw the
You see it's
blueprint. We,
possible,
we see that
for sure.
we see that people can go to high school and
Mhm.
get Division 1 scholarships, and not just one, not just two. Some cities, some counties, some small parts of the country, you might got one or two players who've man, this person went here, this person went there, like,
Yeah.
but like and they're celebrated. But here it's like, man, we got
Everybody.
10 in the ACC. We got,
Easily.
what I'm saying, boys and girls. So I mean, you couldn't tell us that,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
it was
happen. I
possible.
didn't think that all five of us would go,
Yeah.
just being honest, but
Yeah.
you couldn't tell us that we weren't.
That's great. That's the first step, I think so, though.
Yeah,
Like believing that it's
yeah,
possible.
yeah,
And I think you hit on a great point. A lot of people have limiting beliefs in themselves
yeah,
because they haven't seen what's possible.
right,
But here we see it's possible. We know what it takes for the most part, and the
yeah.
rest, it'll take care of
And to
itself.
add to that, our coach, Mike Jones, like, he,
Yeah.
like, and I've said this before, like, I've played for Coach K, I played for Steve Kerr, I played for some great coaches, but there's no coach who's impacted my life more than Mike Jones. Like,
Wow.
I played for him for 3 years. I ended up leaving my senior year, but in those 3 years, like just every day, like just making sure, even before the basketball part, just like becoming a man. Like he taught me how to tie my tie, and just
Wow.
and my dad passed when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
So like he's the head coach at DeMatha. And I was a good freshman, like I was good, but like he's coming from Upper Marlboro all the way to Kettering to come pick me up every single morning, like the head coach. Not you know what I'm saying? It's just like
Exactly.
stuff that
Yeah.
goes a long way. And
It
I,
does.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know like at that point how good I was going to be, but he didn't care if I was a starting point guard, if I was the 13th player on the team. Like just for him, that's what kind of coach, that's what kind of man he is. And yeah, I mean, he held us accountable. He pushed us, and the games were easy because our practices they were
We're hard.
super, super, super competitive.
Yeah. So they say how you
Yeah,
practice is how you play.
exactly.
So circling back, your dad did
Yep.
pass. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
How were you able to overcome that?
Village,
The village.
village. Yeah, my mom was super like super, super like into the community to where like I needed like male like people. Like
Yeah.
I had like a godfather, but he was living in Indiana.
Hmm.
I've had super AAU coaches who are super close with Curtis Malone, who ran DC Assault. Trick Washington, he was my coach at PG Jaguars, main event Cobras. We won the national championship when we were 9 and 10. Um, just different people just in my life. To Taj Hawkins, who was my coach, Renard Phillips was my coach. All these people who coached me, like they literally like were like big brothers and like uncles and second fathers. And then that's what kind of drew me to Coach K, just because Nolan lost his father as well. Then
Oh,
I saw Nolan. So my dad passed on March 3rd,
okay.
and Nolan and Duke were supposed to play Carolina March 8th.
Okay.
And my dad's funeral was March 8th.
Mm.
And Coach K didn't want Nolan to play in that game. He wanted
It's a
Nolan
tough
to be
decision.
at my dad's funeral. That's what kind of like drew
Relationship.
me to Coach K. Like
Yeah.
obviously I was a basketball fanatic. Coach K was the most famous coach I've ever saw. So
Mhm.
we all know Coach K, but at that point I didn't think I could go to Duke.
Yeah.
And then that summer when I stayed with Nolan for like a month, Coach, like he'll see me in the gym. He'll always speak to me, say hello.
Yeah.
And then I kind of took off that next summer, and then he started to recruit me. I thought he was playing around, but
No, yeah.
yeah. So I knew from the rip I wanted to go to Duke, but yeah, that kind of just drew me to coach. But yeah, I mean, my mom just kept a village around me. My mom, my sister kept a village around me.